What up, what up? Welcome to Mr. Brown's class where we're talking about rates today. Now, rates go along right with ratios, all right? So when we're talking about rates, it's a ratio of two measures, all right? So we have examples of rate of speed. And when we talk about rate of speed, okay, we're talking about something like 65 miles per hour. Okay, and so this is miles to hours. All right, and so we could write that as 65 over 1, 65 miles. So we're still talking about a ratio, but instead of, we're talking about in 1 hour, okay? So let's do another one would be mileage rate. So we talk about your gas mileage, all right? So 25 miles per gallon, and that would be 25 over 1. All right, pay rate, your hourly rate of pay. All right, so let's say that you get $12 per hour. Okay, and so anytime you see things like per, that means that we are usually dividing. All right. Also in each, if you see in each, right, you're going to be dividing to find out what 1 is, all right, or for each. And we'll look at some word problems like this, all right? But again, all of these could be looked at as a fraction, 12 over 1. All right. Okay, so we got a lot of examples here. All right, so Arnold drove 390 miles from LA to Sacramento in 6 hours. What was his average rate of speed? So here's your key word here, average rate of speed. And when we're talking about this, we're talking about miles per hour. What can they do in 1 hour? That's what average rate of speed is. All right, so what we're going to do is take the average rate of speed. So we're going to take miles divided by hours. All right, so 390 divided by 6. All right, so 6 goes on the outside, 390 goes on the inside, 6, 5. So they're going 65 miles per hour. That's what they're averaging, all right? So he could go a little bit higher at times, a little bit lower, but his average is going to be 65 miles per hour. Doesn't mean that he stayed it that way. Now, once we know what 1 hour he was doing, then we can figure out, how many miles he went in 2 hours, and 3 hours, and 4 hours, and so on. All right, so once you figure out what 1 is, it's a lot easier to figure out what a lot of things are. Now, in this question, we're still talking about Arnold, all right, and remember that he went 390 miles. Now it's going to ask for miles per gallon. And remember that I talked about that per means that you're going to divide miles divided by gallons. So you used 15 gallons in 390 miles. So we're going to take 390 divided by 15. Oh, 2, sorry. All right, and then we're going to do 8 right? 6. All right, so he averaged 26 miles per gallon. So for every gallon, he could get 26 miles. So again, if he went, 2 gallons would get him 52 miles. 3 gallons would be 26 times 3. So once we know this average, all right, then we can figure out whatever we want to know. All right, Jared was paid $480 for 30 hours of work. All right, so $480, 30 hours of work. What was Jared's hourly rate of pay? All right, so they want to know the rate of pay. That means what did he make in 1 hour? All right, so hourly rate of pay would be 1 hour. So we're going to take 480 divided by 30 because we want to know what 1 is. All right, so 30 goes on the outside. 480 goes, so whatever we want to know what 1 is, that goes on the outside when we're dividing. So 30 goes in 1 time. 6 times 0. So $16 per hour. And again, 2 hours, $32. All right. And then 3 hours, he would get $48, and so on. So once we figure out what 1 is, we can figure out what anything is. All right, so what is the unit price for a 24-ounce box of cereal priced at $3.60? Okay, so unit price is, again, we want to know what 1 ounce is. And where this comes in is if you are shopping, all right, and you're comparing, do I want to buy the smaller box or the larger box? All right, usually it's going to be the larger box because it's going to be a little bit cheaper. All right, so you can see how much you're saving. So we want to know, again, what's the unit price? The unit is ounces. Okay, so we're going to take $3.60 divided by 24. And it's going to be a small amount. So 1. So it's 15 cents, right, for per ounce. Okay, but we could compare if we had another, like a 32 ounce and it cost, $4 and something, we could figure out what the better buy is overall. All right, so unit price is finding out the price divided by whatever the unit is. Now this one, it mixes it up a little bit. Now notice how they give us, Gina wants to know how much she will earn working 40 hours at $16 per hour. So they give us the rate, right? So these others, we wanted to know the average rate of speed. We wanted to know how many miles per gallon. We wanted to know hourly rate of pay. We wanted to find the unit rate, unit price. Here they give us it. So instead of dividing, we're going to multiply because they gave us the rate. So in this case, all right, we want to know, so 40, so that's 1 hour, and she worked 40 hours, so we're going to multiply in this case. So if they give you the rate, you're going to multiply. So $640 if she works 40 hours. All right, not bad for her. Remember, everybody, be more awesome. And make sure that if you like this video, that you subscribe and like and share it with somebody that might be struggling with this concept or other concepts with math.